I love Hermitcraft. Like many content creators, I once rolled over the idea of becoming a hermit one day and what that would look like. For many people, joining Hermitcraft would be a dream. It's an elite group, arguably the most successful SMP on the internet as of 2025, and largely well-loved. Today, we're going to investigate the hows and whys of people wanting to join Hermitcraft. We will examine how Hermitcraft has transformed its identity from a group of people playing Minecraft to a brand that is worthy of being represented by Minecraft as a company. We will be discussing why people want to become hermits, the motivations, and what it would actually look like. And who knows, we might even be discussing some of the less savory things that don't often get talked about regarding Hermitcraft. So why do people want to join Hermitcraft? You could pull any potential Minecraft creator and ask them, and they would all give different answers. If you go searching for it, there's a whole genre of videos applying to join Hermitcraft. Yeah, you heard that right. While Hermitcraft has never and will never have open applications, people often ask in Hermit streams, how do I join? Or put out videos asking to join. People want to be a part of it. They see it and they want to join. I don't really want to flame these small creators who are putting themselves out there with their application videos, but I do want to say I find it a little ironic when they discuss their creativity and passion and the love for the game, and yet their script and their description is made with AI. Anyways, I watched a few of these application videos, I talked to some of my friends, I dug deep inside myself for the past Terra who wanted to join Hermitcraft, and I was able to gather some of the main reasons people cite for wanting to join and the real reasons I believe are under the surface. Many people discussing joining Hermitcraft speak of wanting the collaborative nature of the server and the bonds the members have. They're envious of it, they're intrigued by it, they like it. One user, using AI, said, I eagerly anticipate the opportunity to collaborate with fellow hermits, embark on group projects, and contribute to the server's collective vision. And while this is truly the most inauthentic sentence I've ever read, the heart of it is that what hermits are doing together is what a lot of people are interested in. Others discuss contributing their excellent editing or their building or their redstone skills. We'll get into this later, but I don't think any of those are truly good reasons because those are already on the server. And again, I'm not trying to bash people for putting themselves out there or having a dream. But I think one thing that lies underneath this desire to join Hermitcraft, something that nobody is brave enough to mention, is the idea that being a hermit will automatically equal some kind of success, that it will bring community and clout and admiration and money. But the problem is, I'm not even sure that it truly will bring those things. We'll get more into that in a little bit. But to put it frankly, the dream of joining Hermitcraft is just that, a dream. It sounds really nice in theory. Even in writing this video, I've had to grapple with the idea of it and think about how I really feel. Back when I was a Minecraft streamer, I often got asked the question of if I would join Hermitcraft. Even then, as someone who made mega builds, who was a PG content creator, was actively creating content, I knew that was an extremely unrealistic goal. But I still hesitated both then and now before answering. Would I want to be a hermit? Because there's an allure to it. Technically, it's feasible. It's something that could happen. It's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. It would probably bring more attention to myself, if not certainly. I'd get to meet people I looked up to for years. But I'm also keenly aware that becoming a hermit would not be without guidelines. And I don't like getting told what to do. Also, now I know I probably will never get in after I've published an 1.5-hour video outlining the ins and outs of Hermitcraft fanfiction. But that's another story. You see, Hermitcraft is a brand. And I think for me and a lot of people out there, I do not fit that brand. As much as it may not be discussed, there is an identity the hermits uphold and are expected to comply with, or there will be consequences. Some of these things are to be kind and nice, family-friendly, and unproblematic. As we saw with the recent situation with Iskall, breaking any of these, especially the unproblematic one, is a danger to the brand and is not allowed. Now, newer Hermitcraft fans might think this is new, but it is not. When Generic B left Hermitcraft, he later asked to return, but was refused because he no longer fit the brand that had been created. While on the record, he says there's no bad blood between him and the hermits, that has to sting. And it probably changed the trajectory of his life despite being the founder of Hermitcraft, he no longer was associated with it, and many new fans don't even know who he is. Hermitcraft probably isn't going anywhere, but as we have more and more years go past since season 1, it is less and less likely for people to learn about these old hermits. Even the situation with Iskall will be swept under the rug. One day, there will be fans who have never watched seasons with them in it. There is also a largely unsaid policy of being unpolitical as a hermit. And as much as the hermits might not want to discuss it, this decision to remain neutral about any and all subjects sometimes can actually shelter and shield extremely right-wing views. Maybe I'm just being too liberal here, but there's instances where hermits will just refuse to say things in a way that feels more Republican and more conservative than I think they mean it to feel. An example of this is a recent Skizzleman issue where he was asked to say trans rights, and he doubled down on saying, no, I can't say that because I don't want to be political.
Anonymous with a $20 says, hi Skiz, happy Pride, I'm trans and a huge fan. I personally haven't heard you saying anything positive. What is this? About the LGBTQ community. It would mean a lot if you can say trans rights. Hey, I'm not, this channel is about vibes and good times, and it's not about anything political. And I have nothing against anything. I think I've driven home. I think I've driven that home. I got nothing against anybody. Come on. What's up?
He deleted the VOD about it. He deleted the stream. I think he's limited comments about transness. And it's weird because, like, what should he have done? Just ignored the donation message instead? Honestly, probably. Because what happened instead is people see his refusal to engage and think, oh, he doesn't support trans rights, which is honestly kind of what I thought. And obviously, I don't know if that's true, but we have to remember, this is a man in his 50s who grew up in a different time, and it's highly likely that he has had bigoted views in the past, even if he does not now. We do not really know who he or any hermit is as a person. Being unpolitical means you can be the most disgusting, bigoted person in your real life. As long as you don't say it online and as long as you don't really engage, that's fine. You could be a hermit all you want. I personally have never seen him interact with a trans or non-binary person. Besides, I think, Zombie Cleo, you can correct me if I'm wrong. He seems perfectly cordial. To be clear, I don't think he has a problem right now. Probably, but I don't know. You don't know, unless you know him in person. Are you his kid? Are you his wife? Are you his best friend? You can't really say who he is or who any hermit is. He responded to this situation, he left an apology, and I think his response to the matter was handled somewhat appropriately, with him apologizing and making his stance clear that he does support trans rights. But still, he deleted the VOD, and he will now vet donor messages, whatever that means. This minor scandal on Twitter has already been swept under the rug. You've probably already forgotten about it if I didn't bring it up. And to make things worse, it was later revealed that 2 of his moderators are Trump supporters, and Skiz followed them on a platform where they toted those hateful views. I'm not trying to make assumptions about him, but the fact of the matter is, he's a hermit. And now he has a brand to uphold, and that brand includes making no political statements. But being silent and refusing to speak up for people you support is not being an ally. It's allowing hate and bigotry to foster inside your community. Yes, people come to Hermitcraft to escape the real world and what's happening, but staying neutral does not have the positive effect that they may think. Being apolitical is allowing hate to foster, and it's truly baffling to me that the hermits seem to not understand that.
Even just saying a sentence dedicated to a marginalized community, when they begin shying away from saying these things because of the idea of it being politics and such, all that does is give bigots, as well as the idea of bigotry, a way to wheeze in, you know? And I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like a parasite, you know? If you don't stand against the parasites, they're gonna find their way in. And by shutting down members of communities, like I said, whether you are just a celebrity, you're just a voice to be heard, yes, it makes them feel more comfortable. Yes, exactly. the minute that you allow people, the minute that you shut down somebody who is seeking refuge in a community by just being like, hey, can you say this thing to weed out all of these assholes in your community? And you say no, you're going to be left with people who've never needed to feel comfortable in your community because everyone else is left.
I don't really have a solution for this, except maybe we should let them be a little more human, speak a little bit more about what they actually feel. And if that means sometimes revealing that they're not a good person, either we have to confront that, or the hermits have to confront that, or we have to truly think about these people as people. They're not just internet characters. They're real people with real opinions, and sometimes those opinions are not going to align with yourself. And by projecting themselves as apolitical, they're trying to bring in as many people as possible from any political stance, from any kind of background. And that's great in some senses, but it also means that it can bring hate. I'm actually getting a little mad about this. I never see this discussed, and it's truly one of my least favorite parts of Hermitcraft at this point in this day and age. The idea that we can just tote these people around and they can just foster hate in their community. Their moderators can just be absolute bigots, and we're just supposed to be okay with that because they're a hermit and they don't speak about things like that. Anyways, let's move on before I start an entire rant on this. Politics aside, let's discuss some of the other implications that come with being a hermit. While being a hermit may mean some initial fame and new fans, it does not guarantee it staying or helping you in the long run. I want to be clear in what I'm about to say and give a disclaimer. I've watched at least one episode of every single hermit, and I admire them all in their own ways. I think being a member of the server, it's impressive. What I'm about to discuss is a product of algorithm-driven content, mid-2020s taste in Minecraft content as opposed to the early 2010s, and an increasingly younger audience influencing YouTube views and engagement. It is not necessarily the hermit's fault, but rather the impact of society at large. With that being said, there are hermits who have increasingly low views on Hermitcraft episodes. For every hermit, regardless of subscribers, views steadily decline as the season progresses. It's a fact that the first episodes will always have the higher views and they will decrease from there, with a few exceptions for big events or finales. For hermits with already lower subscriber and viewer counts, these numbers can be very low for mid or late season. I debated on including a hermit as an example or not, but I think I need to. A good example of this is iJevin. To start off, I enjoy iJevin's content. I'll usually watch his streams when they're on because they correlate well with my schedule. I really enjoyed his TCG games and the episodes with those in it. In season 10, Jevin's episode 1 has 91k views as of August 2025. Some of his first videos from the season have 132k, 88k, and most of the first 20 are sitting in the 50k range. Impressive, nothing to scoff at. But as time progresses, the views lower to 20k or fewer. And this has been the case for most seasons of Hermitcraft. And it's not just him, and again, I'm not insulting the creator. This is a product of algorithms and fans falling off and seasons having a lot of episodes and fans not being caught up. There's so many factors. But my point here is that being a hermit does not automatically equal notoriety, fame, or fortune. There are so many other factors that come into play. And while people seem to expect that being a hermit would be a straight shot to becoming a successful Minecraft YouTuber, besties with Grian, it seems that that is not the case. Many hermits continue working full-time jobs while balancing their Minecraft videos at the same time. So, would joining Hermitcraft even happen to you? I'm crushing some dreams here, but no. Unless you are connected to, say, at least 2 hermits, I think joining Hermitcraft is impossible. As of season 10, the 4 newest hermits have all had some kind of connection to the current cast of hermits. In fact, let's just run through a whole bunch of them to make my point. Joe knew Cleo, Impulse knew Tango, Momo knew Grian, Grian knew Pearl, Impulse knew Skiz, Grian knew Joel, etc., etc. It goes on and on. You can leave more in the comments if you'd like. At this point, it is so apparent that this is how they're adding new people that I was able to completely guess both of the new hermits for season 10 and guess correctly about Pearl joining in season 8. And I actually don't even think this is a bad thing. The hermits function best when they can be themselves and play with their friends. Having a virtual stranger to everyone join would make creating content hard. You'd be trying to work out this new relationship while also doing your job and being entertaining. It is simply easier if a new person comes in already knowing people. This also allows the hermits to have already vetted individuals' ability to be unproblematic and family friendly. Let's make a small graph of new people that could possibly join Hermitcraft. Hermits participate in a variety of events, and what that means, they meet new people. Let's just look at some of the big ones here, which for me are MCC, the Empire's crossover, and joining the Hermitcraft server as guests. I decided not to go crazy, even though I totally could have. I just picked 3 hermits and some of their random, recent-ish team members from MCC, people from Empire's Life series. But already, you can see how there are multiple other creators with already established connections to more than one hermit. And that is invaluable for getting on a Hermitcraft. If you take Joel himself, he was in MCC, Empire's, the Life series, and an IRL friend of Hermit's before he got added. If that's not you watching this video, and it likely isn't, you're probably not getting added. But don't worry, dear watcher, I will not leave you like this. What do you do if you don't have established connections to the hermits, but you long to be part of their world? Well, you have to make your own Hermitcraft. Now, this is hard because it requires friends. In fact, as I noted before, this is one of the big reasons people cite for wanting to join Hermitcraft. It is so much easier to imagine sliding yourself into an established group of friends as opposed to actually forming your own bonds and connections and making a server and friend group from there. In fact, I actually kind of did this, the forming your own server part. For a few years, I ran a successful Minecraft server. And when I say successful, I mostly mean it was successful because people played on it. We regularly would have 10 of us online, just playing together or doing some kind of event. In the early days when the Dream SMP was huge, we did lore and world building and got some viral success from it. It was fun, it was good. But like many things, it changed with time. It wasn't easy to maintain for myself as the admin, and as people moved on with their lives and they got jobs and they started in-person school again, the playership dwindled. But eventually, I shut the server down after 3 seasons. But that experience brought me amazing friends that I will still keep in touch with and play games with. It taught me leadership skills on how to run a server and empathy for other admins and players. It was a good experience, but one I won't likely be repeating. For me, it was a product of its time. In a second channel video, the admin of Hermitcraft, Azuma, speaks about how to make your own Hermitcraft.
I'm not even saying make a group of friends playing together on an SMP server. It's about creating. What is Hermitcraft? It's people doing stuff, okay? Minecraft was as well. You know, it's not sitting around and dreaming. It's not wishing, oh, you know, because I get emails like, hey, I don't have a YouTube channel, but can I join? And it's not part of what we do, obviously. So it's not about dreaming of something happening. It's about doing. And what is your doing? What is your creation? What is the thing that you could put out there into the world? I have learned that mine is this: streaming, making videos, and entertaining others and being creative. And I love it. And it's wonderful. But what is your thing? Because it's easy to watch someone do what I'm doing and think, I want to do that. But you might not be no good at it. You know, don't dream about joining a community when it's a far-fetched possibility. Okay? What can you do with your time right now? What can you do with your actions? What can you do to create and to put something out there in the world? Right? Creating your own Hermitcraft is about you doing something, you taking the initiative. You be the one to go, right, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to start playing guitar and recording myself and uploading it. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do that thing I always wanted to. Or maybe I'm going to get together with my friends and we're going to create something together. Could be a Minecraft server, could be something entirely different. But I want to make it like extremely clear that the point of me saying make your own Hermitcraft is to do your own thing. Don't try and emulate someone else's thing specifically, you know? because you can't do that. You can't make Hermitcraft again. It can only be this one thing, right? If you try and do it, it will end up being different because there will be different people involved. There will be different parameters. So focus on doing your own thing that you enjoy.
And in theory, this sounds easy. And there probably are groups of people who it is easy for, like it was for me all those years ago. I started my server for purely selfish reasons. I wanted to be in charge and have a place where my sister and some friends could play together. And it just expanded from there. Hermitcraft started in very similar ways. It was a place where people could come together and create content and play Minecraft together. The together bit can be hard. When I see Hermitcraft or other SMP application videos, I'm often struck by the lack of community. I never had to have real applications for my SMP because I formed connections organically and added people that way. And that's not a flex. I think it was just luck. I had a bring a friend policy where if someone was invited, they could bring a friend with them to play with. It meant more people online, more people to connect with. It worked out for me. But when you're trying to make an SMP a brand, you have to be smarter. You can't make mistakes. It isn't just having your friends there, it's having people who can bring in views, bring in technical knowledge, or bring beautiful builds. It's about having a secure group of non-controversial people to keep the brand alive and bring opportunities. And is that how you form a real community? I would suspect not. And yet, I don't think Hermitcraft can truly change now. They're so integral to the Minecraft community, from being featured in official promotions, to having a hermit in the Minecraft movie, to having the latest charity stream hosted at the Mojang Studios in Washington. The persona they built, the neutral stances they take, it all comes together to form Hermitcraft. So what can we do? And what can you do if your dream has been to join Hermitcraft? Well, to start, we, as the watchers and the viewers, can continue to call out the hermits when they display these passive behaviors that allow bigotry. We can use Hermitcraft as an escape, as something to enjoy, while also allowing the creators to have real opinions that matter. Given the United States' current political climate, there is really no escaping what's going on. Being someone who makes Minecraft content is no reason to allow hate to foster in your community. I debated on calling this out, but none of these hermits had their videos marked as for children. So truly they have no excuse for not having a real conversation once in a while. Perhaps the first step for hermits is defending your own fellow hermits, with the queer and female hermits often receiving extremely violent and disgusting comments in their streams and comments. Be a real ally, and it's okay to start with the people you know. Don't be afraid to make a political stance once in a while. Don't be afraid to talk about what you care about. Support those causes that you care about. Perhaps put your money where your mouth is and help a nonprofit. I have always admired Grian for his fundraising work, building a school in Ghana, and Scar for all the fundraising he's done for Gamers for Giving. A fundraiser video sometimes, a volunteer shift here or there. There's so many things you could do, and it's totally possible hermits are already doing this, and good for them. You don't even have an obligation to tell me or the community about it. But I do believe you have an obligation to do something, and not allow hate to flourish as your fan base. Think about if that's what you truly want. Do you want your brand to be built on the bigotry of people that they just feel like you are an umbrella to allow them to just stay there and be quiet? As for my fellow viewers, keep building community. That truly feels to be at the center for everyone's dream of joining Hermitcraft. Hermitcraft feels like the dream because the hermits are so comfortable with each other. They all have their unique play styles, but they come together as a group and interact in such an organic and fun way. As fans, many of us have full-time jobs or schooling, lack of access to computers or even Minecraft, and having a community to play with can feel tough. But don't give up. Acknowledge how Hermitcraft can compress the experience of playing with your friends, and acknowledge how what you're really yearning for is your own group of friends to play together with. Your dream of joining Hermitcraft might actually be more of a dream of having friendship, community, and the play style that the hermits have. And that starts with being in community with people. It means making connections, playing games, talking to people. It means coming out of your shell and being yourself. We all want community, we yearn for it, and it starts with us. Be your own Hermitcraft. My name is Ben Mulcoid. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got this far, make sure to check out if you're subscribed. If you yearn for community, you can join my Discord server linked in the description below. I'm quite active over there and give updates for new videos, and will also occasionally poll for ideas. Keep being good people and let me know in the comments below what you thought of my takes. Sorry that I got way too liberal, but I just feel very passionate about speaking up for what you believe in, and I hope you do too. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.